heavy bricks, and how you built this path for me to walk on. Carve yourself in stones with the strength of all convinced, but I know your skin is still as thin as mine. What does it take to believe in all the things you believe? And maybe I need to listen more carefully.
Hi everybody, CJ from Hercules, your OCR runner, your marathon runner, your weightlifter, and also a practitioner of yoga. And today I'm at Casa Yoga with wonderful Jamie, and she's gonna tell us a little bit more about yoga and the practice of it. So are you ready?
I am, and I'm very excited.
Are you motivated?
I am very motivated. I'm excited to tell you about how yoga can benefit athletes, so step into my office.
Jamie, can you tell me something about yoga, or I guess what kind of style you teach and about the different styles?
Sure. I believe there are over 100 different styles of yoga registered right now with Yoga Alliance. There's everything from restorative to rocket. Personally, I teach what's called vinyasa, which is stylized yoga. It's a movement with breath. It's kind of a faster paced yoga. Here at Casa Yoga, I teach a gentle flow, which is a slower paced but still vinyasa flow. I also teach at UTEP for students there and faculty, and there I teach a little bit of a faster paced class.
Okay, and I guess could you give me a little bit more in-depth analysis of vinyasa, what it means?
Sure. Vinyasa, like I said, is characterized by that movement with breath. It's a lot more of a free form of yoga, whereas styles like Ashtanga and rocket are characterized by, especially Ashtanga, the same series of movements every time that you attend class. You're going to be doing the same poses and holding them out for a certain number of breaths. With vinyasa, especially as a teacher, I have a lot more freedom to design classes to address my students' specific needs, which is great. Also, with vinyasa, whereas other more traditional styles of yoga, there's no music, for example, I can play music in my class, which is really great because I have a lot of fun making playlists for my class.
Okay. And I guess going along with helping everyone's individual needs, can you tell me how yoga in general can help your modern day athlete, like let's say bodybuilders?
Yoga is great for bodybuilders especially because it's a great way to have an active recovery time. So in between those days where you're doing your workouts, you can still be active while you're recovering. Yoga promotes blood flow to muscles, so it helps to rebuild muscles while you're in that downtime. It also increases your lung capacity, so it helps you to take more efficient breaths, supplying your muscles with oxygen, those muscles that you're trying to create mass in, which is very important for gains. The gains.
Gains.
Right. Yoga is also really great for body awareness. So for preventing injury, you want to have proper form. Yoga gives you a really great body awareness. Yoga also helps to prevent injuries because, as we all know, yoga increases flexibility, so it increases your range of motion, giving you more powerful output as a bodybuilder, and it also helps you to be less tight. Tightness is, for a bodybuilder, can lead to injuries, so it helps you not to be so tight. It also gives you a mental toughness. Yoga helps to increase focus and concentration, and sometimes our biggest obstacle as athletes can be our own mind. So, these perceived limitations that we think we have, yoga can help you push beyond those.
Alright, well, something I always hear a lot is, the big excuse, I can't do yoga because I'm too flexible, or I'm not flexible enough. Do you have to be flexible to do yoga?
Of course not. That's like saying I'm not fit, so I'm not going to go to the gym. Yoga will help you to gain that flexibility, but it's not a requirement to come into the studio. Yoga is really about flexibility and strength, so we say that you should be like flexible steel when you're doing yoga. And and it'll help with both. If you're an athlete, you already have the strength, and yoga can really help you with that flexibility. But no, it's not a requirement at all.
Okay. Yeah, that's something me personally I like about yoga. It's like you have somewhere where you start just like weightlifting, and then you can set yourself and set some goals to, you know, get to what you want to do.
Exactly, and your flexibility is going to change from day to day. There's days where I can put my legs over my head, and there's other days that I can like barely touch my toes, depending on what I did. You know, so if maybe I rode my bike for 8 miles and I'm tight in my hamstrings, but it changes from day to day. And yoga is really about practicing on your mat and in the moment, so you're non-judgmental about your body and where it is. You're just trying to progress, but it's not about perfection.
Okay. And then, I guess, do you have any other practices or anything else that you'd like to mention that you think would help the modern day athlete?
I think the modern day athlete is somebody who's a balanced individual, and that's why I think yoga is so great, because yoga is really a practice for the body, for the mind, and for the soul. It's important that we address ourselves not as just machines with bodies, but that we're a being with a mind and a body, and they work in tandem. So I think meditation is great, yoga is great, of course nutrition is important.
Alright, how would you say someone would get into yoga or familiarize themselves with it?
Well, it varies from individual to individual. I tend to get students who are either here on doctor's orders or advice if they're recovering from a surgery or an injury. I get people like yourself who are athletes who are looking to just go above and beyond in their personal practice. I have all sorts of people. I've taught people from 2 years old to 74 years old. But if you're interested, I would say just find your local studio like Casa de Yoga and find a class that fits your needs, because there really is a class for everybody. There's restorative to rocket. So there's classes where you're doing 5 poses on the floor, completely supported. It's very relaxing, very spiritual. There's classes like rocket where you're constantly moving, like really working the sweat. So just do some investigation and find out what you like and what's appropriate for your body and its needs.
Okay, that sounds great. And thank you for your time, Jamie. It's been an honor and a pleasure having you around. I guess the last thing I want to ask is, how can one of our viewers, you know, take one of your classes or get a hold of you?
Well, thank you, Carlos. If you're interested in taking one of my classes, I teach here at Casa de Yoga, and you can see class schedules at casadeyogastudios.com. I also teach at UTEP for UTEP students, faculty and staff, and members of the Recreation Center. I also offer private classes if your body has some unique needs or you would just like a one-on-one class. You can contact me. I'm on Facebook. My name is Jamie Chin. I also have a Facebook page for my yoga. It's Dharma Bum Yoga on Facebook, and I have different price packages available. So yeah, that's how you can find me if you're interested in taking one of my classes.
Could you tell me how it is that you heard of Hercules?
Well, I initially heard about it from you. You were a student in my yoga class, and I saw you wearing a Hercules t-shirt, and I'd seen your videos on Facebook too, because we're friends on Facebook. And I think it's awesome that there's a local sporting apparel company. I'm completely thrilled to support a local company, especially one who's promoting fitness, because that's where my livelihood is in promoting fitness. And I think El Paso is one of the most obese cities in the nation. It really does need that. So I think it's amazing, and I'm happy and like really on board with supporting you guys. I think it's great.
All right. Well, actually, I'm kind of excited that you're, you know, motivated to promote fitness. I mean, that's what we're all about, you know, to promote those who are fit and to promote, you know, everyone to stay motivated to stay fit. And I guess the last question is, when you see like this emblem, I mean, what do you think of? Like, what does it make you think? How do you feel?
You know, it's funny because Casa de Yoga's emblem is a lion as well, and so a lion represents strength, perseverance, determination. Hercules, as we know, is a mythical warrior who also demonstrates those qualities. So I see a strong warrior who is determined to not only overcome outside obstacles, but obstacles within himself as well. So I think it's a great emblem for a sporting apparel company.
That's great. And of course, we also promote games.
Games are important.
All right. Well, thanks again, Jamie. That was very, very knowledgeable, very insightful, and you know, it's been an honor and a pleasure once again. Thank you for your time, especially. All of you, all the viewers, I hope you all got something out of this. I hope you all try this practice of yoga. It's really a beautiful practice. It's really something I would recommend. Through personal experience, I love it personally. And I hope you all stay motivated, most of all, stay fit.
After everything, and when she dreams, she sees herself in her Sunday dress, humming simple melodies she's known since